late in the session because the sun going to be going down, track going to cool off. Scott Wimmer, 31.094 compared to a 30.87 in practice. A little bit slower for him.
Yeah, I think this is the, as far as today. Now, yesterday during that 6 hours of testing that all these drivers participated, it was very hot and sunny, but it's more relative to what they did earlier today.
Mike Bliss, the second car on track for qualifying. He is in the big red Ford. There's also a big red Chevrolet and a big red Toyota here this weekend, driven by Dave Blaney and Mike Skinner.
Now, Mike won the NASCAR Camping World Truck Series race here back in July of 2002, same year that he won the championship.
And if he will make his 5th start in 2011, because we know he is locked into the field. That 32 car inside the top 35 in owner points. He and Terry Labonte have been sharing time behind the wheel.
I think this car is certainly proof that if you finish the races and you can every once in a while click off a top 20, top 25 finish, that you can pretty much stay in the top 35.
Yeah, I think it is. I think, the Wood brothers had a great run at Daytona and got those 42, 43 points. And even though they weren't running for the championship, Trevor wasn't, the car owner gets those points, and that's the top 35. And they have stayed and hovered right there at the top 30. They've had some decent runs besides that, some top 10 or top 15, excuse me, top 20s. But it's allowed them to keep, 2/3 of the way through the season and stay in that top 35.
First lap the quickest, 30.86, and that's a tick better than what Bliss ran earlier today in practice. Qualifying continues here at Kentucky. Mike Skinner, as you see, currently second, 30.39, equating to 177 and some change. So he is in the field. We told you Tony Raines will go home, and now David Starr joins him in that category. They failed to qualify. The man on the bubble now is Scott Riggs. He will wait to see his fate as Dave Blaney goes on track. And Dave is locked into the field. He was 15th, excuse me. He was 28th in practice earlier today.
He got in there and picked up the gas. It bobbled just a touch, but not really that much right there when he took 3 and 4. And he's running in the middle of the racetrack. And it's funny, during that practice, you heard guys talk about what's surprising about this place. And some of the drivers during it said, I'm surprised this is bumpy as it is, and I'm surprised we have to run as high on the racetrack as what we are in practice. Because I think everybody assumed they would come back up here to the way it used to be when we tested and run right back on the bottom of the racetrack.
Well, looks like this is going to be a great lap for Dave Blaney. He'll go to the top at a 30.32, beats Michael McDowell by half of a tenth.
So Dave Blaney, the new leader, with 15 cars having taken time in qualifying here at Kentucky.